Around 7 days ago, a rupture in the crust of a planetary mass object that is similar to Mars known as Waffle-Like had its magma rapidly increase in volume, which caused small pieces of a naturally occurring solid aggregate of minerals to launch into the deepness of space. An instance of the aforementioned small pieces of a naturally occurring solid aggregate of minerals was taken captive by the Intergalactic Federation of Serial's military unit consisting of serial soldiers and taken to the planetary mass object that is similar to Earth known as Ralston.
The Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists, including me, have carefully observed the worm-like specimen found in the rocks known as globule, which were believed to be evidence that there is intelligent breakfast cereal life on planetary mass objects that are not Ralston. But then the Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists, including me, have found out for the first time that the worm-like specimen known as globule in reality contain eggs that will hatch into malicious creatures that ingest breakfast cereal, which originate from a dimension that is not our own. The Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists, including me, refer to the aforementioned creatures as the Flemoidi. If the eggs of the malicious slime creatures me and other scientists call Flemoidi get exposed to physical matter that contain a high amount of nutrition, the malicious slime creatures we call Flemoidi will burst out of their eggs. That does not seem to make any sense. Me and the Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists have set up a center for the purpose of studying the development of nutrients in the natural voids in the ground, which are large enough for people to enter, of the planetary mass object that is similar to Mars known as Waffle-Like. The Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists have been growing plants that either have edible seed-bearing structures or other edible parts, and they had reported to me that everything was going along smoothly.
Officer of high rank otherwise known as General, 48 hours ago we stopped receiving messages from the Center for the purpose of studying the development of nutrients on the planetary mass object that is similar to Mars known as Waffle-Like. We had no choice but to assume the worst case scenario, which is that the slime creatures our scientists call Flemoidi have taken over the base and are likely holding the personnel hostage.
And here's something that makes the situation worse than it already was. The Intergalactic Federation of Serial's team of scientists, including me, have discovered through several experiments that the slime creatures me and other scientists call Flemoidi are completely immune to every conventional weapon that the scientists have tried.
The Intergalactic Federation of Serials requires the assistance of somebody who is willing to, without getting paid, use a spaceship to transport themselves to the natural voids in the grounds, which are large enough for people to enter, of the planetary mass object that is similar to Mars known as Waffle-Like, and make an attempt to free the residents who live on the Intergalactic Federation of Serials property from their current state of being in captivity in the aforementioned location.
I strongly believe that what you just said is absurd and unreasonable. The reason I believe this is because I am wondering what member of the Intergalactic Federation of Serial's military would be lacking in good sense enough to go into natural voids in the grounds, which are large enough for people to enter, that are almost completely filled with the slime creatures you mentioned before referred to as Flemoidi, which are incapable of being stopped, and come from a different dimension than the one we're in. I would like to rebut your claims of it being unreasonable by saying that, if we are to calibrate a subsequent time the rate of occurrences of the phasing of our devices that send things into a velocity approaching light speed, to the same setting used by our devices for instant transportation of people, any of us can force the slime creatures we call Flemoidi to go back to their dimension of origin.
I would like to remind everyone that the Intergalactic Federation of Serials requires the assistance of somebody who is willing to do the task I previously mentioned without getting paid.
I am a member of the Intergalactic Federation of Serials military unit consisting of soldiers that are pieces of Waffle-Like cereals, and I am willing to do the requested task without getting paid.